Hi, Raindrops. On today's episode of Reality with the King, listen, it's not every day that I am in the presence of royalty.
Oh God, my crown's a little crooked. How's that?
Oh, well, honey, I'm here to tilt it back front and center because I don't know if you know this, Vicki Gunvalson, but when I started my podcast in 2022, my first episode, my second episode was the top 10 greatest housewives of all time. And Vicki Gunvalson, you were on the list, honey, my top five. You are also Vicki Gunvalson on Carlos King's Mount Rushmore of the greatest housewives in the history of the franchise. You are a legend. And you have no idea that ever since I started my podcast, I've been wanting to talk to you. And I feel like today is a great time just to really say, I'm obsessed. I love you. And I think you're the greatest thing to ever happen to the franchise. So there we go.
That was awesome. I appreciate you. I really do, because you're only as good as the last episode. Tamara and I used to say that we're only as good as the last episode of the last season, but it was an incredible journey. I enjoyed it. I was on full time, I think 14 or 15 years, and then part-time sprinkled in. This last season, I wasn't on at all, which kind of made me sad. But I watched it with one eye open and one eye closed, going, what's going on with this franchise? Why is everybody so angry with each other? So, it really, really is interesting to see how it all evolved after, so many years being on. So anyway, we're where we are for a reason. We're heading into the 20th year. I'll be at BravoCon this year, which I'm excited about. And, just trying to live my life to the fullest. I told you that we bought a house. Michael and I bought a house in La Quinta. And we went out to the Nest last night, which is this oldie but goodie. All the people that are over 60 go there. And it was like I was inundated with fans. I was 40 when I started watching you, and now I'm 60. I'm like, okay, that's me too. So it's fun. It's fun to see the people and, the loyal fans that really just like you've watched me evolve and grow. My kids grow up, and my daughter's got 4 kids now, and my son lives in Spain, still selling insurance for me remotely. And I'm in a committed relationship again. So let's hope it doesn't go into chaos. Yeah, we're 4 years now, almost, in January. Kelly Dodd introduced us.
What? How did that happen, Vicki? Whoa.
Well, after Steve cheated on me, I was like, I'm done. I don't trust men. I don't trust anything. I'm good by myself. And then I thought one night, because that's a little bit of therapy, right? You're sacrificing. You're giving up things that are really important to you. So that write a list of what's important to you. So I started my list, and it got to 18 things. And Kelly called me and she's like, I want you to meet somebody. I'm like, I'm not dating again. I'm good with my girlfriends. I'm good with my work. I'm good with my family. She's, no, I think you'd be good. I said, is he from California? And she's like, no, he's from Texas. I said, okay, I don't want to meet anybody from California, because they all just get divorced and cheat and lie. And I'm saying that as a broad stroke. Most of my friends that are single have not had a good experience. So I'm from Chicago. Yes. You stay married for forever. You go through the bumps in life. You don't bail out. I bailed out once I got to California. I shouldn't have. And so she introduced me to him. I'm like, okay, he's okay. And I'm like, where are you from? He's like, Texas. I go, okay, that works. And then it was, here's my 18 things of what I want in a man. Do you fit him? He goes, we're only on our first date. It's not even really a date. It's and Rick. So he had all of them but one. And the one was, he didn't have a boat. I'm like, don't worry about it. I'll get the boat. So here we are. I'm like, full disclosure, this is what I need in a man. No cheating, no lying. You have to be self-sufficient. You have to own your own business. You have to be able. So here we are.
Well, look, one thing that I have read recently is Mel Robbins. I'm sure you heard of her. Yeah. She said that if you are lucky enough to find a partner that has 80% of what you want, you have hit the jackpot. So, Vicki, I think you hit the jackpot, sister.
Well, I think so. I'm very cautious still after almost 4 years. I don't know how people get married so quickly. Like Kelly got married after a year, and Tamara got married after a year. And I'm like, I don't need to be married to be in a committed relationship, but I'm a marriage person. Like, anyway.
Yeah. Well, listen, before we get into today's topic, I do want to ask you this. You said earlier how season 20 of the show you helped build, Vicki Gunvalson, is approaching, and everybody and their mother is assuming that Vicki Gunvalson will at least return for the 20th season of the Real Housewives of Orange County. Is that something you have either been approached yet or interested in?
Well, I've been approached by Tamara. She's like, we need you back. I'm like, hold on, girl, you're not Bravo. Stay in your lane. No, Bravo has not reached out to me, and they're the mother of the ship. I mean, they drive the ship. So if they want me back for good TV, quality TV, inspirational messages, showing what it's like to be a working businesswoman and building real estate empires and being kind to one another, then I'll come back. But if they want me throwing wine glasses in somebody's face and calling people a see you next Tuesday, I don't do that. So I have 4 grandchildren. Eyes are on me to be a role model. I don't need the money, although I would love the money. I don't need it. I mean, they're making big numbers now. Tamara and I were in the 7 figures when I left. So, but it's a hard life. I think relationships get challenged. Mike, my boyfriend, wants nothing to do with it. He looks at it as a very toxic. He's like, you're selling your soul to the devil. And well, if you keep that in mind, it's just TV, then you're not selling your soul. If it's real life that are infiltrating into your personal life, now we're selling our soul to the devil. So I'm pretty good about keeping in that lane of I'm only as good as my last episode or how I film. I don't entertain chaos in my personal life, my business life, my friendships. I can't do it anymore. I did it for as long as I could, but I don't feel healthy with toxic people in my life. And as you grow older, you got to keep that crap out, or it eats at you. So
yeah. No, look, good for you. I will say this, Vicki, you look amazing. I can tell that your love tank is full. And
it's full and it's empty, and it's full and it's empty. I said, you're draining my love tank. He's like, stop with your love tank. Michael's got he said you're 2 handfuls. I'm like, no, I'm not. I got this,
Oh no, listen, you're a boss. And like you said, you definitely got this. So, Raindrops, I wanted Vicki and I to tape an episode today because, as we all know, in the Bravo land, Dr. Wendy and her husband, Eddie Osefo, are being accused of insurance fraud. Who right now is to listen to an expert in the field so that we all can receive a master class from Vicki Gunvalson when it comes to the do's and don'ts of insurance, because there's a couple of things that these two are being accused of that I wanted to talk to Vicki about. So listen, Raindrops, as you know, Vicki Gunvalson is the founder of Cultural Insurance. She has been in the business for over 34 years and counting, with over 16,000 clients in her tenure in the business. And as we all know, her wonderful son, Michael, is a part of the business as well. So she is creating a family business. And who better yet to talk to about this topic than Vicki?
Yeah, I'm very emotionally responsible and connected to this because, we all pay premiums on either our health insurance or our jewelry insurance or our home insurance. Life insurance is one of our specialties. And when you look at somebody taking advantage of an insurance policy, collecting on it, when we're all absorbing the cost of our premiums rising, just like the LA fires, people are still trying to collect on that. But when we get down to jewelry insurance, she had to itemize all those pieces, her rings, her jewelry, purses, whatever it was. So you literally have to itemize, because your homeowner's insurance will collect maybe $5,000, let's just say, as a binder on that. But when you itemize your jewelry, you pay a premium for that. And when you take advantage of that policy and lie, supposedly, and collect a pretty large dollar amount from that itemization, it's considered fraud. And it's very clear if she did wear the ring that she said that was, stolen, that's fraud. Just like if we don't pay our taxes, it's fraud. You're going to pay for it some way. You're going to go to jail. You're going to have decisions of paying back. But, I play by the book. I have always, and I tell my clients, you're itemizing this, or you're insuring your home for X amount of dollars. A lot of people are underinsured on their homes right now because the premiums have gone up so hard. And then when the fire happens or a flood happens, then they're blaming the insurance company. They didn't cover it. I'm like, you lowered your benefits and you increased your deductible to save money on the premiums. And now you've got to be, though, with her, again, we're innocent until proven guilty. It doesn't look good for them. It just doesn't. When you're prosecuted, I don't know, a year later on a claim that you filed, there's been behind the scenes investigations to get to this place. So shame on them if they did, because we're all paying the premiums for people that are not ethical.
So talk to me about this. You said something that I definitely want to get into. You mentioned how, yes, in 2024, the Osefo said their house was burglarized. And because of that, they filed claims from 3 different insurance companies. So before I get to what happened a year later, I do want to ask you this, because this was confusing, Vicki, to a lot of us. Due to the burglary that arose allegedly, they had home site insurance, Jewelers Mutual Insurance, and Travelers Insurance. Before I get to the detail, when a house gets burglarized, is it typical to go through 3 different insurance companies for 57 items that were allegedly stolen?
Well, 57 items is a lot. You can't memorize all 57. So obviously she had them itemized. And I have Jewelers Mutual for my jewelry, for my diamond rings, for my diamond earrings and things like that. But obviously it's not 57. I got like 4 items. She's paying a big premium on that. Now, Travelers might have been her homeowner's insurance. So then she has a jewelry claim, a homeowner's claim. And then what was the third one?
Travelers.
So Travelers, Jewelers Mutual, and what was the third one?
Oh, home site insurance.
Okay, so she's got maybe laddered the coverages for if and when a burglary happens. Most people, as a broad stroke, have jewelry insurance itemized and then their homeowner's insurance. And homeowner's insurance typically does not cover jewelry up to maybe a cap of $5,000. So she had to itemize if she had that many items. I don't really understand how she can collect on all 3, because typically it's a policy that, oh, you're claiming on that, so we're not going to cover on this. So there's a lot of funny stuff going on there. I'm not in claims. I write policies. And when I write the policies, obviously we very much disclose. If you lie, cheat, steal, and make a claim that's not ethical, it is fraud, and you will be punished by jail or rescinding, paying back the claims. Just like if you crash your car into a wall and you said somebody smashed into you, it's illegal. So you have to do things ethically. And in my business, I'm part of the National Ethics Bureau. I'm licensed by the Department of Insurance. We have an oath of conduct as an agent, as a professional business owner. And I teach and tell my clients, this is a policy that's there when you need it. It's not there to take advantage of. So, maybe she thought she got away with it. I don't know. Allegedly is a big word, but it doesn't look good for them. Right?
Well, that's what people are saying, because what you said earlier is what I'm going to talk about. When someone files an insurance claim, the fact that a year later, we now know that they were prosecuted for these alleged crimes. The police said that their spidey senses, I'm paraphrasing, of course, went up when they assessed the home that was allegedly burglarized, and they felt like going through the second floor of the home didn't seem realistic. They found no debris from the alleged robbers in the house. And because of that, they also said that based on the insurance that, and I want to make sure I get this accurate, Travelers Insurance, Vicki, paid them over $25,000, including $4,500 for a diamond anniversary ring. But questions soon arose as investigators and insurers noticed red flags: the lack of forced entry, security systems showing no disturbances, and returned luxury items that were later listed as stolen. Jewelers Mutual and Homesite also received claims, and Homesite ultimately denied theirs after inconsistencies were recovered. When someone files for an insurance claim and a year later they're prosecuted, how much work does the insurance company go into discovering if this claim is accurate?
A lot of work. How much did they totally pay out? I thought it was over 400,000 combined. No?
So that was the thing. Homesite insurance, the maximum policy was $400 and I believe $23,000. They said that allegedly the husband sent an email to his wife Wendy saying, "Add more items so that we can reach the maximum policy," which was allegedly ultimately paid out.
That's guilt right there. Insurance companies have to go through, just like a murder or something like that. They want to know what they're up against to prosecute. They obviously have done their homework. So I don't know. It just doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good.
What are these housewives going to jail and doing bad things? Is it just abnormal for the housewife, or is it just the world we're in? I don't know.
Well, I want to ask you this. There's a lot of housewives who are in big trouble when it comes to alleged crimes that are being committed. You are the OG of the OC. There will be no Real Housewives franchise if it wasn't for the work you did since season 1. And you've been on this show, like you said, for 15 seasons. I want to ask you this because there's no better person to ask this question to. Is it difficult for a Real Housewife today, in today's time, with social media and everything else, to sort of keep up with the Joneses and portray a lifestyle that they can't afford?
100%. I mean, we can see it across the board, every franchise, everything. We've got people renting houses because they don't manage their money. I've never rented in my life. Not that renting's bad, but you've got to have a goal in mind to start getting equity. In California, our equity in our homes is our everything. And, living beyond your means is also a huge thing. The clothing, the jewelry, the cars, the, facade. It's just, to me, it's like, what are you doing? And I think Bravo feeds into it. Love you, Bravo. But it's one franchise is doing this, and then the other one has, I have to be better than her. I have to look better than her. I mean, here's a perfect example. Miami housewives are perfectly, beautifully groomed women, gorgeous clothes, but I think they can afford it. I don't know their net worth, but you can tell the lifestyle they have and the class of ladies and their friends. And then you go to some of the other franchises, it's like, what is she wearing? And why is she saying that when we know she's in financial problems? She owes the IRS, or it just, I go crazy with it because I pay 50% of my income is in taxes, 38% federal and another 12% state. And those taxes are paid before I do anything because it's not my money. And I see some of the women on my cast have snowballed it and, I'll pay the taxes from last year when I get my next year's contract. That's crazy shit. And then you got penalties and interest and all this stuff. So I do my very best in educating every cast member that comes on to get my Excel spreadsheet. And by the way, when you get paid that X amount of dollars, you pay federal and state, and then you carry on with whatever's net. We don't get paid as a W-2. So there's no tax.
Explain that, not to interrupt you, but explain to the audience who may not know that. Explain to me how a lot of reality stars or public figures get paid a 1099 instead of a W-2 and what the difference is.
Right. So let's say, for instance, I got a check for $50,000 from Bravo. I immediately pay $20 towards the federal and state, and then I net 25. But in a paycheck scenario, they would already take out the federal and state. You have to be responsible enough to do that yourself. So I don't wait for quarterly payments. I don't wait till the end of the year. I do it the day I get paid because it's not my money. And so teaching some of the other cast members is like, okay, stop with yourself. You are not to spend the paycheck. It's not yours. It's difficult to teach them, There we go.
Do you personally talk to reality stars about this sort of the ways of being financially secure? Because you're really big on being a working woman. You're really big on not depending on a man.
Yep.
You're really big on not living beyond your means. Do you take a personal interest and tell some of your former castmates, some of the girls on the show, other housewives, how to do it properly?
I do, but they don't listen. They don't listen. It drives me crazy. My cast, if they'll listen to me, they'll never be in trouble. So there we go.
There you go. One of the things that the Oselfas was accused of, Vicki, that I really want to drill down into is the allegation of double dipping. Allegedly, the diamond ring, they first filed a claim to Homesite Insurance, who denied it. I'm sorry, Homesite Insurance, who paid them $25,380 for that. Then that same ring, they tried to get the money from Jewelers Mutual Insurance without informing them that they were already paid out, allegedly, from Homesite. Is that illegal?
It's illegal. It's illegal. You can't do that. First of all, the fact that Homesite and Jewelers Mutual allowed the same jewelry to be itemized on each policy, one should have disclosed. Let's say let's put myself in there. I have Jewelers Mutual, and I have, John Hancock for my homeowners. And let's say I itemized on both. You should, as a responsible human, disclose to one of them that, oh, by the way, this is all itemized over there, but it's not over here. You can't double dip. I mean, insurance companies are one of the richest entities in the world. And people think, oh, I paid these premiums for this amount of years and I'm just going to double dip. You can't do that. It's illegal. So there you go. If it's easy money, it typically is illegal. Sorry, I may have said something wrong, but nothing in life is easy. I work really, really hard for every dollar I have, and it's not easy, but I'm grateful and thankful for my clients that entrust in me and the life insurance. Michael's my life insurance specialist, and all those things that we do for people. It's not easy. So if I was going to be an insurance agent and make a claim that's wrong, first of all, I'd lose my business. I'd lose my license. Okay, let's say I collect $100,000 or $200,000. Is that worth going to jail? Is that worth getting free money illegally? No, it's like robbing somebody. Can't do it.
And just to make sure I got this right, Raindrop, travelers reportedly paid the $25,380, including the $4,500 for the diamond anniversary ring, while Homesite denied their claim after discovering inconsistencies. So I wanted to make sure I got that right. Vicki, did you hear that allegedly the diamond ring that they claim was stolen, prosecutors are alleging that Wendy wore it in a recent photo on social media? Now, some people are saying that, look, maybe she got a replica of the ring and spent the money towards that. What do you think about that situation?
Well, that can happen. Years ago, I lost it was a diamond ring that had like 4 or 5 different bands on one ring. And I was in Bali and I put it in a glass next to my dresser. And when I checked out, I left the ring in there. So I knew that right away when I was in the car. I'm like, okay, I left my ring in there. We're going to turn the bus around, come back. They're like, there's no ring in there. And I knew it was in there. So I called my jeweler and I said, listen, my ring is gone. And it was itemized and it wasn't a lot. I mean, it was like $8,000. And she's like, you already itemized this. We'll replace it because it was a beautiful ring. So those type of things can be done. And she could have maybe done cubic zirconia. She could have done, who knows. But there's lab mined diamonds now, which don't cost a lot to redo. I don't know the story there, but you can have another ring made that looks like the other one if that in fact was stolen. So I don't know. It's just the whole thing. 42 items or whatever the number was, like itemized. That's crazy. That's a lot of freaking jewelry. And that premium was high because if you itemize all those things, I mean, I've got a Rolex watch and a Cartier watch and they're in my safe, and 2 of the watches are itemized and my other Michael Kors is not. It's like I only itemize the stuff that would be difficult to replace. But if they're in my house, they're in my safe. So I don't know where she had all these 42 items at, and did they break into her safe? I don't know. The whole thing smells very fishy.
So the thing is that you are obviously, like I said, you've been in insurance. You don't work in claims, but you work in obviously setting a policy for people. But as somebody who works within this business, when you first read this story, you read what happened, what's been alleged, you immediately felt like what? Like this was a open and shut case, or do you feel like maybe they did not have the intention? Maybe they just didn't know that you don't double dip in insurance.
I call bullshit. I mean, if you're making a claim for that many items, you knew something was going to happen eventually because you want to get collected on it. I mean, most people don't have 42 items that they itemize. Like I say, I have a Michael Kors watch and I have a Rolex watch. I don't itemize my Michael Kors. I mean, how many diamonds and quality watches and things like that do they have? That's a lot. So maybe the whole intent was to, I don't know. It just sounds very icky. I don't like it.
There are people, Vicki, that are saying, look, let's say this is true. The Ocephals did not murder anybody. They didn't steal from you. They didn't rob you. What does it matter to you? It doesn't affect you personally. As an insurance CEO of Cultural Insurance, who's been in the business for over 34 years, what do you have to say to that? Does this impact the average American?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because if an insurance company has to come out $300,000-$500,000, that is coming out of a bucket of reserves to pay out. And now what causes that reserve to be depleted by $500,000, and that goes back under the insurance policy holders. And now our premiums are going up to supplement that claim. So it's tough, it's just, I go back to LA fires, all those people that had their homes insured. What happened? Us in Orange County, California, 1 hour south, our premiums have increased because we've got to pay all the millions and millions and millions of dollars in claims going out. So it does affect us. It does.
I heard that when insurance companies investigate possible malice intent, when someone files for a claim that may not be accurate, that ultimately they want their money back. That the insurance companies want their money back. In this particular case, do you think that ultimately that's what they want, or do you think, based on the high value amount, that is going so far as it has because jail time is what the prosecution is seeking, in addition to paying back the insurance
Absolutely. I mean, they could put a lien on their house for restitution, but
Wait,
also,
they can, Vicki?
Well, I would think so. Yeah, they can put a lien on their homes. Absolutely. They're going to get their money back some way, somehow. Obviously, these people already spent the money. They're living beyond their means. So as a prosecutor, if you steal from something or somebody, you can have your property seized and liened to get restitution, because I doubt she has the money still sitting in a savings account. They blew it, my guess. And I also think it sets an example for those of you out there thinking, oh, I'm going to get away with this. You're not going to get away with it most of the time. I mean, maybe there's some little slide $2,000 or $3,000 claims you get away with. No, but when I lost my ring in Bali, I lost my ring in Bali. It was in a hotel. Hotel didn't cover it. I had to make a claim on my insurance. I had a new ring made by my jeweler exactly the way the other one. So that's it. I mean, when you do have a claim, the insurance company should be there for it, but not 42 items.
Well, I do. Vicki.
Crazy.
Vicki Gunvalson is back. I do want to ask you this. Is it immediately suspicious when someone says, okay, my house was burglarized and I am claiming over 42 items?
Yeah. Bullshit.
That's a
And
red flag.
there's no cameras, there's no footage, there's all of a sudden the cameras were covered. Yeah, bullshit. As I told you, I just bought this house here. Look at this pretty view out here in La Quinta, and we are on the golf course, and that's good and bad. So anybody can come into this house. Well, don't even think about it, all you bad people out there. Anybody can come in the house and hurt me or burglarize me. But guess what? Today, security's coming, getting cameras all over the golf course, all around the perimeters of the house, and an alarm system, because I don't want bad people entering my life. And if somebody entered their home and they have that much jewelry, chances are they had cameras and a security system and all of that. Where is it? You know? So I don't like it.
You don't like it. You don't like it. Well, look, a lot of people don't like it. And look, what advice, Vicki, would you like to give your Real Housewives sisters in solidarity in terms of trying to be on the show and, you know, live this lifestyle and be fabulous and be successful, but they may not have the means to do it? What advice do you give a woman in general, but especially a Real Housewife, when it comes to protecting themselves from doing any alleged crimes to keep up with the Joneses?
I have such great advice. So are you sitting down? I think it's humbling to the viewers and audience that somebody may not be as affluent as somebody else. You know, when I started the show, I'm from the Midwest. I was working in my home office. I had Lori working for me in Duff, and it was very clear I have to work. I mean, my husband made decent money working for Home Depot as an executive, but in order to live in California and put my kids through private schools, I had to work, and we bought a house out at the river. So I think it was humbling for not only me to be around other women that didn't work, they were very affluent or they acted that way. And for the viewers to go, okay, she works. Like even these girls I met last night, they're like, you're the reason why I've maintained my independence, because 20 years ago, it was okay to work while you're married and while you're raising children. I think when you live beyond your means or you're showcasing something that's not real, it's annoying. And it's annoying for me because I was filming with people like that. It's like, what are you doing? You got 50,000 on your credit card and you look cute, but who cares? You can't afford what you're wearing. You can't afford what you're driving. So I say this: live within your means, save 20% of your salaries, make sure you have life insurance on the breadwinner. If you're the breadwinner, I got a ton of life insurance on me. If I croak tomorrow, please God, don't croak me tomorrow. I'm a very busy day tomorrow. Spectrum is coming. I'm teasing. But I think that when you live within your means, it's humbling that most of the people in the world, or even in the United States, are overextended. They can't afford a $2,000 outfit or a $10,000 purse. So when we show the world that we are like them, it's better than showing something that we're not. I mean, I'm the big believer that you live within your means. You pay your taxes, you save, you get life insurance on the breadwinner. Oh, by the way, cotoinsurance.com. And then, you know, we just be responsible people, you know?
Yeah. No, listen, that's good advice. One last question about the insurance part of it. What tends to happen after these types of insurance fraud crimes happening? Is it likely that the insurance companies keep them on as clients, or is
No,
is it gonna
they're dropped. I mean, no insurance company is going to keep somebody on that fraudulently made a claim against them. They're going to have a difficult time getting insurance anywhere. It's a big red flag with a big circle with a line through it. That's like, no. Close your mouth.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, if you were robbed or you were hurt by somebody and then they went back and said, okay, well, I'm sorry, like I'll restitution pay for it, but I still want to be your friend. The answer is no. You're not my friend if you could steal from me. Same with an insurance company. We're not friends with them, but a character of who you are goes throughout your lifetime. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is that even if they're not convicted, the accusation of insurance fraud would still be something that may be hard for them to get insurance in the future, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it smells like a duck, it's a duck. If it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. That smells. If it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Right?
That's how the saying goes. So listen, my last question.
How does it go?
Oh, well, no. If it quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
Right. Or if it waddles like a duck, it's a duck. I don't know. If it's a duck, it's a duck.
If it quacks like a duck, a duck. If it walks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then it's probably a duck.
A duck. There you go.
Yeah.
On to the next question.
My last question for you is this, Vicki Gunvalson, because I want to make sure Spectrum delivers your service. But look, when it comes to the prosecution of insurance fraud, is it up to the insurance companies to dictate with the prosecution if they want to fully extend the law to prison time? Do the insurance companies have a say in what they want? Whether it's let's give us our money back, you guys can do what you want to, or do insurance companies have a say in saying no, we want them to be in prison?
I don't know the answer to that. I would assume that they would have some say so, but I don't know. I don't want to misspeak because that's a claims issue. I'm on the other end. I write the policies and a lot of them. So people are coming to us because we do ethical business. And by the way, if you are an agent and you know that client is putting 42 items down, me as an agent, I would kind of say, you know what, I guess steal 42 items. I want to know, where it's being held. Is it in a safe? Is it at a bank? Like where are these items at? Because I, as the insurance agent, is responsible for disclosing all of this to the insurance company, and that's a big deal. There's insurance fraud on a lot of things: health insurance, life insurance, property and casualty, a lot of things. And I have never had an insurance company say, Vicki, we're taking away your positions with these insurance companies because you're writing bad business. So if I write bad business and there's a lot of claims, they're going to pull my contracts. So I got to write clean business and disclose everything, and then the insurance company can decide to insure it or not. For instance, let's say you're my client with life insurance. We do a ton of life insurance. And you say, you know what, Vicki, I think I have cancer, but I haven't been diagnosed yet. There's just a lot going on with my health. I haven't gone to the doctor. As the agent, I have to disclose Carlos is stating he's not feeling well. He thinks he has cancer. Even though there's no record of it, I have to disclose that. And the insurance company then can require a scan or what have you. Because when you do a reputable practice like mine, the underwriters love me because I'm disclosing everything, and then they can decide what to do with it. So whoever wrote those policies up, they should have asked other questions. Do you have other insurance in force for this? You can't insure two companies for the same item. So I look at the insurance agent, whoever you are, you should have asked more questions, to make sure that you're not insuring one item twice.
Yeah. No, it's tough. Well, Vicki, listen, I can't thank you enough for taking time on your busy schedule. You are the insurance
and Target right now, and Lowe's and Home Depot, and I gotta get some mops and brooms and lots of stuff to do here. So,
well, I thank you. But before you do all of that and run your errands, sister, let everyone know how they can find you in case they want to hire Koto Insurance for their life insurance policy and everything else.
Yep. So we're gonna go to Koto, Koto insurance.com. and put in your information, and either Michael or myself will get right back to you. Lickety split. So, and if you're under the age of 60, get this one. You can possibly get a policy with no medical exam as long as you answer these questions No, 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 no. And be honest. We'll order your MIB, Medical Information Bureau, see if you're lying. And we've been able to get policies issued in 24 hours. So we got a great system. It's all online. You don't have to see me, but you can if you want. We're licensed in every state, and Press Hard 3 copies is out. Now it's all digital.
Wait, I want to make sure I heard this right. You are licensed in every state?
Yep. Yep. And I'm a broker, so we represent every insurance company. Been working very hard.
Vicki Gunvalson.
Got to take all the tests and those CEs and all that, certified in every state. So it's good.
Well, listen, I'm so happy for you. And as I will end this conversation, I want to say I need you back on my TV screen. So I want to make sure that Bravo calls you. I need you back for season 20. It only makes sense. You are the OG of the OC. You're the Mount Rushmore of the Real Housewives, and you have built this franchise on your back.
And like I said, my crown is crooked, but I'm going to
tilt it back and center. And Vicki, seriously, thank you for your service.
You're welcome. Okay, you're welcome. You have a good day. It's good to talk to you and meet you.
Good to talk to you, and I'll see you again.
Okay, baby. Bye.